Hi everybody, it's Mary Rondenet from Blooming Rose Healing and the founder of Way of Breathing. Wow, what a beautiful day, huh? All those that live in the Midwest, it's beautiful, isn't it? So, it's been a very interesting week, and I think that I had a really good class on Sunday. And it really brought a lot of awareness to people that came in how powerful breathwork really is. So when we were all gathered and talking, it was the conversation about why is it that when we're breathing, there's this resistance at first. There's an aspect of our body that just doesn't really want to breathe. And one of the things that's really interesting about our bodies is that we carry a lot of energy. And sometimes that energy is stuff that is hard to process. And I decided to do a cleanse, and it was in regards of my, because of my, I had a hip replacement a year ago. I try and do cleanses every so often because it's good to really kind of, get rid of the metabolic waste and bring in the oxygen. And part of it is, not eating sugar and carbs and bread and potatoes and rice and all the foods that I love, my comfort food. And it was interesting. So with the class, I was sharing how we don't even realize how much food comforts us. And now taking certain foods away, how I have to sit with some really uncomfortable feeling. And it was interesting because the first few days I felt pretty good. But then I felt really irritable, just not comfortable in my body, not really kind of just fightsy, defensive maybe. And I was just very aware of that behavior within me. And I was like, wow, this is so interesting. And letting myself really just be with it. Part of that is using our breath. And the thing that's really, really interesting is back to that question, why is it sometimes there's so much resistance? Because, we're in a culture that doesn't really understand, we don't understand how to process our feelings. It's really, like we have feelings and then it's like, oh, just keep busy or, or just do things to keep or eat something or go work out or whatever we choose to do. But to really sit with them, it's a very different way of meeting our feeling. Which I tested myself and I let myself sit with those feelings. And I allowed myself, to really be in those energies. Because energy in motion is emotion. And it was so interesting for me how much I was feeling. Really letting myself feel. And not letting it go out, and be irritable at people and stuff. I just really just was letting myself just be in those uncomfortableness. And how I brought the breath in to help me. And one of the things, you guys, when I was teaching, is I was talking about this diaphragm. And one of the things that was just so amazing for me as I've been preparing for that class that I taught was the way that our system is created and where that diaphragm lives, which is here. I actually bought this, but I can't do it one-handed. I should get different types of ear thing. But anyway, what happened is when you're using your diaphragm and using consciously breathing, and we're letting it do the movement from that center, we're meeting so many aspects of our body all the way, even like the lymph system was the one that really fascinated me. Because one thing I want to say is the lymphatic system, when anything within our body, stress, getting sick, in a lot of trauma, being in a hectic workday and just go, 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 and not, in a fear or flight, that system starts to create within the packet. It creates the moisture, the fluid. And our body is constantly releasing this fluid, you guys. Constantly. And even having a thought process that is a little more traumatic than a more calming peace thought process releases fluid. And what was really fascinating is that even like what I was going through, being irritable, not eating, and plus detoxing, fluid. So it was just really fascinating how when that diaphragm is moving correctly, and I'm conscious of it, the lymphatic system then becomes also a pump. And I know I've talked about this before, but I didn't realize the depth of how much that lymphatic, accumulates fluid. Even from our thinking. And I think that it's like it was making me realize the power of diaphragmatic breathing, but it also even goes into a deeper level of how that lymphatic system also, as it's creating the movement, helps the respiratory and digestive. It's so, it's just so amazing, this body. And the wisdom that lies in it. So a lot of my clients that are coming in also are feeling a lot of more the bogged down, heavy energies that we're all kind of feeling. And feeling really disconnected and feeling very just tired. And I feel that our souls are doing a lot of deep work right now, because everything that's going on somehow is creating a different shift within the planet. I don't know, it just feels like, if it's astrology or what, that there's just a lot that is coming our way. And our soul is really tired. It's exhausted. And I know that for me, going through this process of just letting myself detox and do this cleanse, I'm very aware of how much my breath is giving me back the vitality. And feeling pretty good, once I got through that piece and letting myself really feel it, I really felt a sense of being grounded and more in the vitality and life force of what's around me. And just really grateful. I know how to use my breath. I know how to work with that diaphragm and understand conscious breathing. So another thing that's been really hard is being a person that created whale breathing and what's happening to the whale. I feel it in my heart. It makes me so sad that these beautiful, beautiful, magnificent beings are just beaching and sacrificing. And I again have to really let myself be with those feelings, and I obviously cannot control how the world is going to be. I can't control how the way, but I'm just so aware of how much I feel that loss of every time I, hear about a sperm or a humpback or a gray whale. And it's always it's a lot about lack of food, boating accident. It's just heartbreaking. And yet, it is what it is. It's what our world is, where it is right now. But I find myself just very aware that there's a lot of feelings going on. And that is on the soul level of a human being. The soul, the mental, the emotional, and what it means to be human and be vulnerable and feel our feelings. And I'm just really grateful that I have my breath, and I'm really grateful that I understand this physical body and how it works, and how we need to listen to it. Even the emotional aspects, and not always easy, sometimes very uncomfortable. So I hope that you guys keep showing up and watching me, and allowing me to just bring my passion to the world. And I will be teaching on May 19th at Gathering Lighthouse. And of course, I am always welcome to see people individually. So just look me up. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Take care.